Welcome back, guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing how to adjust a two-stroke clutch on a motorized bicycle. Let's get right into the video, guys. So guys, if you're experienced, you should know all too well about this clutch, but if you're a new builder, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick rundown how one of these clutches work. That way, when you're done this video, you know exactly how to install a clutch, how to maintain a clutch, and how to repair a clutch. So the first part of your clutch system is your clutch lever. You can see right here it has a little pin. When you pull this lever back and you engage the pin, it will keep it disengaged so you can pedal your bicycle like normal. Okay, so after that, pulls this cable. It runs down this line right here, runs through my body panel, comes down to the motor right here. You can see the cables right there. There's a heat shield spring, which helps the heat of the engine from burning this cable housing. You can see right in there is your cable guide. Okay, so the next piece to your clutch is actually the bucking bar assembly. Once it passes through this cable guide, cable runs through here, connects to your clutch arm. This clutch arm, as I pull the clutch, will actually move. And this video is also intended for beginners, so it's going to be very easy to follow. You can see as I pull the cable, it pulls this arm in, and there's a bucking bar here, which I'm not going to take this off, but I'll throw up a picture for you guys. And basically, there's this little clutch cam that, think of it as my finger, and when it moves to the left, it actually engages the clutch through a clutch mechanism that attaches to the other side of the engine. That clutch mechanism is referred to as the preloaded spring, and when you pull that lever, it goes through the preloaded spring and actually pushes that clutch plate in or out, which allows you to disengage the engine or to engage the engine. It depends on your situation. But think about it. As I'm riding down the road, I'm coming down to a stop sign, and I pull the clutch in. When that happens, it disengages the plate, allows the motor to idle properly, and won't have any issues of stalling. So guys, now that you know how a clutch system works, we're going to go ahead and repair this one. In my case, my clutch is actually slipping, and I think it's due to the pads wearing in. This motor is fairly new, so I don't think we're going to have any issues as far as adjustment goes. But if you do have, problems with adjusting your clutch, like rusted bolts or, seized, anything like that, well, you're going to have to deal with that. But most bikes are going to be pretty easy to work on. And by the way, this video only goes for two-stroke clutches. I'm not including four-stroke clutches because those are centrifugal clutches, and they're a lot more complex than these are. Alrighty guys, so after that brief overview, we're going to go ahead and crack this cover loose. And mine is a 5mm Allen, but yours may vary, like I said. But it's not going to be too hard to repair one of these. It's just a matter of removing this gear case cover, messing with some adjustments, and you'll be good. So we're just going to go ahead and crack this loose. And stay tuned for the end of the video, because I'll also show you how to fix an overly bitey clutch, which basically means when you go to pull the lever in, nothing happens. It keeps on rolling. So we're going to fix that. Also, I'm going to show you how to fix a slipping clutch, which is what's happening to this bike here. Signs of you need to upgrade your clutch is if you've installed a lot of performance parts onto your build, and you notice when you get into that 45, 50 mile an hour range, if the bike is bogging down or it revs real high and it doesn't really feel like it's moving, that's when you have a clutch problem. But in this case, this is a very stock engine, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But basically, this is your flower nut, okay? This is your clutch plate. When I pull the clutch lever in, this is going to move in or out, which I'll demonstrate right now. So I'm pulling the clutch in, like so, and you can see that plate is moving about 1/8 of an inch. And when that plate moves out, it disengages it. So all you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, and what you're going to go ahead and do is crack this bolt loose. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get this bolt out. It's just a Phillips, be careful. You can strip it very easily. Okay, so now you're left with your flower nut. What you're going to go ahead and do, and I'm going to do this in real time, is I'm going to pull the clutch in, which is going to allow less tension on this flower nut. And where mine is slipping, you want to turn it 1 turn or even 2. And you don't want to go too far, because if you go too far, it won't engage properly. So just find that sweet spot, and what I recommend is when you're adjusting your clutch, don't put the gear case cover back on until you've started up the bike and you've ran it for a bit to make sure you fix the issue. Because once you put that gear case cover on, you could possibly rip the gasket, you could possibly just, cause a lot of problems that you don't want to. So just do yourself a favor and leave it off until you get fully adjusted. In my case, it's slipping, so I'm going to turn it in. If yours is overly bitey, you want to turn it out a couple turns. And once you find that sweet spot, you're good to go. Okay guys, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your screw, and sometimes there's 2 holes, just find the threaded one. And you're going to go ahead and reinstall the screw. Now you don't want to overly tighten this. I've stripped one before and it's not fun. So just go ahead and lightly snug this up. Just go, just like that. You want to hear the little gear click when you do that. Okay? So your clutch is adjusted now. At least the main part of it is. Here's another adjustment that you could attempt. Okay guys, so once you go ahead and do that, and you find your clutch isn't still disengaging when you pull the clutch lever in, and it's still not trying to disengage the engine, the most common issue is that this cable tends to stretch. Very cheap Chinese cable. I recommend upgrading to a real brake cable, but this will get you by. Basically, there's a Phillips screw at the top of this clutch lever, and what you're going to go ahead and do is loosen that screw, and then you're going to pull it in with a pair of pliers, hold it, and then tighten it. And what that's going to allow you to do is it's going to let the bucking bar engage quicker. Also, just a quick tip for you guys, this clutch lever up here has a cable adjustment. This is only meant to get you by. I learned in Ellie Hover's video that if you actually adjust it from here, you're damaging parts. So what I recommend doing is after adjusting your clutch, go ahead and just screw this the whole way in and then tighten it with a pair of pliers. That way you'll have tons of adjustment down the road. Alrighty guys, so once you're satisfied with the outcome, you're going to go ahead and reinstall this gear case cover. Now, when you're doing this, it seems like a very simple process, but you just don't want to cross-thread these screws because you have to buy another $3 replacement, or worse, you could actually strip the case, so just be careful what you're doing. But after you get this on and nothing's still working for you, you did all these steps and it's still not working, chances are your pads are either contaminated with grease from greasing the clutch gears, which I've had happen before. I've had to degrease them with brake cleaner, so try that. If you do that and it's still not working, you could actually have a dislodged pin. This is a very advanced issue I'll cover in another video, but you could actually have a dislodged pin in your clutch mechanism, which won't allow it to engage properly. So if you have that issue, I recommend watching Ellie Hover's video on it. He did a very good job of explaining it. But basically, I'm just going to go ahead and snug up these screws, and yeah, like I said, if you do all those things, you most likely just have to replace them if it's an old build. They can get really worn down. Like, you'll see at the edge of here that they actually start to wear, and that's completely normal. But when you see a lot and there's not much clutch material left, that's when you want to go ahead and replace it. This is basically a motorcycle clutch. It's not a centrifugal clutch, so the chances of it wearing out is very slim, and I don't see it wearing out anytime soon. But if yours does wear out, I recommend replacing them with the upgraded pads. You can get it from RDM, you can get them from Ethan Smollett. They have really good clutch pads that won't give you any issues. If you want to go the cheap route, you can buy some off Amazon. They'll do exactly the same thing. Just obviously, it's not going to hold up to a race motor, but yeah. So guys, I hope that gives you a really good idea on how to adjust your clutch on a motorized bicycle. If you have any questions, don't hesitate, drop them in the comments. And that's going to wrap up the video for this one. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next video, and peace, and have a wonderful day as always.